Welcome to For Love and Play. I'm matchmaker comic Yael Meisel. With me is comedians Keenan Weaver and Louie B. For Love and Play, the show about dating like a goddamn adult. We're going to discuss who to spend your time with for love or for play. Let's do it, boys.
This show contains adult content for entertainment purposes. Listener discretion is advised.
Not a doctor.
Welcome back to For Love and Play. Thanks for listening. I'm your host, Keenan Weaver, back with my favorite people, the Queen, Yael. What's going on, girl?
Happy Saturday, everybody. I hope you're enjoying all the beautiful sunshine outside.
Right. And the Baron, Louie B.
I absolve you people of all your sins. Please pass the collection plate around, and God bless.
We've got another article breakdown for you guys since it did so well for us last week. Another article went viral on our feed that everybody was kind of chirping about. So we want to bring that to you. And that's just Elite's Daily. The smarter and more independent you are, the harder it is to find love. You can go check that out on Elite Daily. While you're doing that, Louie, tell the people how they can join in on the conversation.
This is what I need you people to do. Follow us on Facebook at For Love and Play. Also, we have a Twitter account at For Love and Play. And you could follow, or you could email us your questions. We love getting emails. We want to know you people out there. Email us at forloveandplay@gmail.com. So, take it away, Keenan.
This is a great topic because a lot of people really talk about this. Even when you hear it in your own social circle, everybody has that friend that seemingly on paper, they're just like this great catch. They're super successful, smart, funny, this and that, but they're alone and they have a hard time finding love. And that's because sometimes they're a little bit more difficult to please. But Elite Daily kind of broke down some of those reasons, and we want to actually analyze some of those reasons. Yael, what do you think about this topic?
I've seen it true all over the place. All over the place. Yep. The big dreamers, the entrepreneurs, the brokers, the big boys, the big girls, the ones that are going to make it, they're going to kill it, they're going to do it. They're doing it a lot of the time alone. And it's usually until they get to the top, then they find a partner. Usually these are not people that make that climb with stuff. Usually, I'm saying there are exceptions to every rule, but not mostly. I would say it's remarkably true.
I think one of the main points in the article was basically that, if I could sum it up in a few words, it says, love is magical, but the smarter you are, the less you believe in magic. So you end up losing the magic tends to fade because you're putting your intellectual thought process behind this magical experience and things that happen. So then you just end up sabotaging yourself, whether consciously or subconsciously.
I mean, that's absolutely true. These are people that they don't give in to a rational feeling. They don't give in to a rational emotion. So that usually means these individuals do not give into infatuation. That spark, that initial that love at first sight jolt, that's usually infatuation. Almost never is it real tangible love that manifests into forever. Not usually. It does sometimes, but not usually. And these are the people you're not going to win against. These are the people you're not going to tie down. It doesn't happen. And when you go into a relationship with one of these individuals, you have to, God forgive me, know your place. Your place is usually second or third, and that's usually where you are kept in this person's life. Can you deal with that? A lot of women say to me they want to be with someone wealthy. So my question is why? Because when you get out of the financial benefit of why you want a wealthy man or woman in your life, whatever it might be, you have to realize there's a person behind the success. There's a person who made it so, and they are used to functioning at that level of capacity that renders big wealth. That means their time is important. That means that if you have a crisis at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and your boyfriend is in a meeting, your call is going to voicemail, and that's the end of it.
I wanna point out something that you did say in that to kind of highlight. You had said that infatuation usually doesn't turn into love.
Usually not, no.
Usually not. Which, this hits home for me because I'll be honest with you. I don't get into any relationships unless that infatuation feeling happens first. My theory is, if I am not, like, this is why I don't go around hollering at every chick that I see that's just attractive. Because attractive to me, that's a dime a dozen. What it is, along with this attraction, physical attractiveness, along with that, there are certain women that I incorporate through my life and meet through my life and through my experiences that something else about them, I kind of just can't keep my eyes off of it. It's something else about it, whether it's like this glow. I don't know how to explain it, but infatuation is the word. It's like you could just tell, I like how she carries herself or her grace. Or it's more than just, oh, she's a cute chick. It's always her personality or something else that adds to it. And if I feel infatuation for her, then I will pursue that girl for a serious relationship. I'll actually pursue her. If I don't have that feeling though, and say we still exchange numbers or do something like that, I'll just always completely forget about it every time.
Right.
So if infatuation doesn't lead to love, am I doing it wrong?
It could be yes and it could be no. It could be that you need that feeling to jumpstart things, but then for something happens that kills it very quickly. That feeling for you is short-lived because you are not married. You have not had a serious girlfriend since I've known you. So I'm saying that it doesn't seem to be allowing the proper footing for something tangible to build on.
I think there's other factors, and that might be throughout this article, but the actual short-lived statement I would correct, because those women that I have been infatuated, I am still very much into them. That feeling that I got from the first time has not faded. It's just other things have kept us apart.
Started out the amorous movement, though. That plays a very big factor into why polyamorous relationships are popular nowadays. It actually does. It does. It feeds very much into why polyamorous relationships are hot and they're trending, as they say nowadays. Because men are saying, well, I feel these few feelings for numerous women, and all of these women mean something to me. And it's almost breaking down the barrier of what's considered the standard norm in a relationship and what isn't. Cheating has been a lifelong, all-time reason that people do not stay together. And it's because men, let's say, you'll want your partner at home, who's the mother of your children, who you're going to church with on Sundays, etc. And then you want to have a freak on the side, where men nowadays are saying, listen, I'd like to have all of that wrapped up into one package, or I'd like to have it in a couple packages.
Well, I can't speak for others. I know for me personally, I'm definitely like a faithful dude. That's one of the reasons why I don't get into relationships without this feeling, because I know that feeling is the only thing that really is just going to keep me going back. Why, if I could analyze why the women that I feel this strongly for, but it doesn't work out, i.e. why I'm not married, if that has to be what success is, then I would say that it's also brought out in this article, and that's the independence side.
Right.
So in the article, they said that you got to be independently compatible with the other person. And in our podcast, we've touched on this a number of times, talking about the differences between Yael and I, and Louie and I, and Louie and Yael, about how we approach our work and our independence and how we spend time with others. And we know that I am an extremely, extremely independent person. So what happens, if I could come up with some type of hypothesis, is I'm infatuated with said woman. We hit it off very well. In this case, a lot of times I'm infatuated with women that I get rejected by. So that is also why I'm not in the success category too. But if we both hit it off and we're both interested in each other, then after that courting process of dealing with the infatuation, the whole lustfulness of it, the whole, oh, this is brand new, the honeymoon phase, after that is completely exacerbated. The love doesn't fade, the infatuation doesn't fade, but then my need for independence kicks in.
Well,
so it has nothing to do with her.
Well, hold on a second. This actually ties in. For those of you who consistently listen to our show, one of the best, the highest hit show, even now that we still get, was done back in September when we had a chart reader on, my friend Tiffany Reed. She is absolutely amazing. And one of the things that she hit on, my chart, which I thought was very true and I think is very relevant to what you're saying, is she's like, you're a queen that's ruling her own kingdom, looking for a king who's ruling his to rule side by side. There is a difference between ruling side by side and ruling as one unit. Most women want to rule as one unit. Very hard to do that because a king is busy. What women don't understand is there are different, we're using levels of royalty as an easy example, not because we walk around viewing ourselves as legitimate kings and queens. I'm saying it's a personality type. When you have a woman who the guy that I'm dating would call an alpha female, you have to be, like the gentleman that I'm dating and I just the other night talked about this. The desires that I have to build a real estate company and be one of the richest, fattest motherfuckers alive has nothing to do with how I feel about that person. These are wants and desires in this particular area of life and profession I have for myself, but I don't put that expectation on someone else that I'm dating, but I date people that I think have that expectation for themselves. That want to live at a higher standard in whatever it is that they're doing. I want someone who wants to be the best at what he does, whatever that is. If he wants to be a farmer, he wants to be the king of I don't know. I was going to say Pepperidge Farms, but they're really not. You got what I'm saying. I want the best there is in that category, but I want you to want
a farmer that makes cookies.
Right, exactly it.
That grows cookies, right?
Do you remember the time when Jael used to want rich guys? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Well, those who are familiar with Pepperidge Farms would be like, isn't that a major corporation? Isn't that a major company?
That's so great. In her attempt to try and say, I would love to be with the best farmer, it ended up being a $1 billion corporation.
Right. It ended up being
she doesn't go for no organic farmer. Those motherfuckers they make peanuts. She wants Monsanto. She wants a genetically modified boyfriend. That's what she wants.
Oh, I mean, like, I dated a comic a few years back. It was very short-lived. He was a bigger entity than me, obviously. And he said something, I've only been on HBO once. And it's like, that is such a blessing. And I'm so proud of you that in your human state, that you take this so seriously and you are so dedicated to your growth and your brilliance and making this and being, like, I'm proud of you that you're disappointed that you've only been on HBO one time. Because as a comic and as a businessman, you're smart enough to know that when you're on HBO, anybody who's listening to this show who's interested in comedy and entertainment, this piece of information is so relevant to you, you'd be a fool not to listen to it. If you have been on HBO ever, and you're a comedian, you're famous, ever. So when you're a person that says, I want bigger than this for what, you know what I mean? And you have the ability to do it, for me, I'm proud of you because I feel like you get it and you're doing this for the right reasons.
Again, that to be on HBO would be the top 1% of comics, like, period. So the fact that you're already dating the top 1% of comics and not the majority, which are broke comics that no one knows, like Louie and I, that is... It just goes to show that you definitely go for the best, and it's not a problem.
But that's what I'm saying. I want the best at what you do because I'm gonna love you. That, like I always say, I'm Kim looking for Kanye. I'm Gina looking for Martin. I'm looking for the best at what it is.
Well, you shouldn't be looking for Kanye now because he's $53 million in the hole.
53 million in debt. I don't know why Mrs. West isn't writing a check and shutting the fuck up, but we'll address that in another topic. But
that's because she's the reason he's in debt.
Is she?
Of course.
Why? It's not why. How is this Kim's fault? She's not 53 million in debt.
Honestly, I can already see how that girl can cost you $53 million.
He had this brilliant idea to start an offshoot of Adidas. All right, Adidas has not sold at that level to justify a $53 million purchase. There's not been I would not have invested in Adidas. I wouldn't have if I were a wealthy person. I think that he thought he was going to recreate the brand and revamp it. Look what happened when Steele and McCarthy tried to do that.
He definitely has a mind. He's a marketing genius. But outside of that, we'll move on off of Kanye and the two.
Yes.
So back to the whole independence compatibility thing. Yeah. We definitely touched on this before in prior episodes, where if a person is very independent-minded, there's something that always pulls them to seek that solitude, and it has nothing to do with the love that they have for someone else. It's just that an independent person feels the need to be alone at times.
Yep,
And depending at how much, you need to be with a person who's compatible with that. Right? Like Louis, we've discussed you, and I think that also came out on the same chart reading episode, that you are someone that just likes to be around the other person more often.
Yeah. Right.
You are less independent in a relationship. You need a lot of reinforcement and attention. A lot. More so than your average man. Why is that bad?
It's not.
Why is that bad?
So, for Louis, though, finding a woman who is extremely independent would not be wise, would not be ideal, right? We're not saying that it's unachievable, but we're saying that you want to be with someone who's compatible with your desires and with your habits.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And
right?
A mistake that Louis makes is he runs after women who are not emotionally available. When you need emotional availability in a partner, you would need it in order to have a successful relationship with that person.
Louis, let me ask you this.
You need it.
Would you be able to, do you think you'd be able to have a successful relationship if, with a successful comic, both of you guys are successful comics? And what I mean by that is a successful comic is constantly on the road, constantly away from home. But I do hear a lot about good comedians getting hitched. You have, right, Bonnie and
Rich Ross.
Right. And, just others examples.
Yeah.
Do you think with your dependency on affection, I'm not even going to say it's attention, but attention and affection, do you think you'd be able to survive in a relationship of that type?
Probably not. Probably not. It probably wouldn't last long. It'd probably just be a fling.
You have any?
Right.
So why?
I need someone.
You need emotional availability. Yeah. Right. And by the way, that's not like a key or a code word for codependency, let's say, or being needy. That's reasonable. It's reasonable for Louis to say, I'm interested in a woman who's interested in having an emotionally dependent on me relationship. Because that's the beautiful thing about Louis, is he actually will give that emotional availability back, and very few busy people will. Louis would actually be one of the rare exceptions to that rule.
I mean, I look at it as a good thing. I'm not saying this to even slight at all. I think I'm the flawed person. I'm the type, I remember a girlfriend I had, and so I'm like 6'3", 6'4", right? So I had this extra long couch with a chaise that I can actually lay across. So it's like a 10-foot couch, right? And
that's amazing.
This girl comes, and this was my girlfriend at the time. She comes over, sits down, and she sits on my lap while I'm watching TV, and I'm sitting, and I look at the couch, and I'm sitting here like, do you see all of this couch? All these options you just had, and you sat on me.
See, this is where I'm different, because I would like that.
And that's what I'm saying. And I think that's a good thing. Like, all she was trying to do was come see. I probably was coming from some trip anyway. I probably haven't seen her in 4 days. She was probably just trying to come and get affectionate because she missed me. And I'm like, yo, you couldn't just sit right next to, like, I don't understand. And that was just my instant reaction.
Damn.
Horrible. Here's the problem that most women fall into. Most women fall into, the guy that reacts like me is intriguing up front. So they tend to be attracted to that up front. But that same thing up front is what's horrible on the back end, which is where you're good at. And if you show your part on the front end, you'll never get to the back end.
Are we talking about anal?
No. Which is hilarious because everybody's talking about anal because of Apple right now. And as I was saying that, I was like, yeah, this is gonna come up. The whole anybody who wasn't into tech, they're hearing the word backdoor.
Yep.
For hacking, and everybody is making anal jokes. And what I should say is, comics on late night TV, we get it. And you guys should be better than that.
Exactly.
Every channel shouldn't be doing the same joke, but whatever. I'm not hired, so.
Yep. How would you make an Apple joke?
I actually will be making mine, so stay tuned.
All right.
Stay tuned. I will be doing a new political satire show on the internet in a couple of weeks.
All right.
And we'll show you how this is done, son.
Yeah, I was really happy because my conspiracy theorist bones were like, yeah, no crap, yes, don't do that, Apple. The NSA, hello.
I mean, that is amazing, but that's definitely super off topic that none of our listeners care about. So,
yeah, well,
the way to tie it in, though, is are there any girlfriends out there that have broken into an iPhone when they thought their man
I
was
hope
cheating?
so.
And I'm sure there are. So why aren't none of them working for the FBI?
yeah, I know, right?
Right? Why is the FBI not entirely staffed by women? Why? I feel like there would be no counterterrorism. We would find them. Be like, pretend this motherfucker owes you child support and you don't find him. I
So
said to one
there
of the
goes
biggest...
the angle that I would tell you about is
Wait.
why doesn't the FBI have someone that can break an iPhone?
Yeah,
I
get
guarantee
a
you-
lot of these single mothers off of government assistance.
Right?
Muhammad, you
I
best
think
not
it's
be trying to
not-
plan no damn suicide bombing up in this bitch.
I could give a
I
list
just
of
don't
single
understand
mothers to the CIA and be like, yeah,
You're the FBI and you can't break into one iPhone?
like, please.
I
Shanika
cannot
down
bel-
the street can break into his iPhone, his computer. She reads his IP address. I'm saying she knows that this boy bought her his mother for Christmas next year.
I cannot believe it. The Shaniqua foiled my plans once again. You damn right! I cannot believe it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
The brilliance of women just wanting to know what you're up to is motivation to unlock your deepest secret.
God damn it,
You think
Shaniqua. Mind your
yourself-
damn business. I'm trying to start a jihad here, bitch.
She's like,
I hope you
better
have
not.
a women working thing.
Who the fuck is jihad?
That means holy war. I'm trying to
playing
start.
I'm playing as the jealous girlfriend, dog.
Oh.
Come on.
Well, you didn't do the
Right,
voice.
exactly.
I
Do
did
it,
the
shit
voice.
jihad.
Like do the
You tell me
voice.
right now, Mohammed.
Look,
You tell me right now. I am not picking olives for nothing.
look. I just got to do this thing, you know. I'm pulling double shifts at Al Qaeda Mart.
Listen,
Look, I
you
just
need to okay.
look. I'm trying to get the
Mark, you
promotion,
wanna-
get the 70 virgins. Get off my back, bitch.
But what would be on this phone? What if it's like still, because they say it's a company phone, so what if it's just exactly what a company phone is? It's nothing but joke emails, but it has American jokes at the punchline. It's like, what do you get when you mix two apple pies?
A bigger apple pie. I don't know.
Y'all are the worst.
I like to blend them into a smoothie.
Still comics, by the way.
An apple pie smoothie?
Yeah, what you do is you get the NutriBullet because it makes it healthy because you get all the nutrients out of the
Just by adding
apple
it
pie.
to a NutriBullet.
Just by adding it, like, look, don't make me explain my logic. Just it works if you don't think about it too much. You just put in the NutriBullet, you put some milk because it makes it healthier, and you put some ice, and boom, bada bing, bada boom, you have a McDonald's apple pie smoothie.
I like how the NutriBullet makes anything healthier.
It does. It's scientific.
That's cool. I didn't know it was one of those things. I just got like a regular blender. I should have ordered the NutriBullet.
Get the NutriBullet.
Yes.
It's like $60 at Best Buy now. Just go ahead, go nuts. I smoothie everything. I bought me the 50-cent Hostess cake with the 99-cent eclair pie. Put it in the NutriBullet with some milk. Well, actually almond milk because almond milk is really good for you. It has more calcium, and you pour it in there with some ice. Bada bing, bada boom. You got yourself a smoothie. And that's instead of that, I eat that instead of having like a regular meal. It keeps my calories down.
Well, that is so perfect because we're getting into promotions, and Louis can promote his new diet, the NutriBullet Lost Weight.
Yep, I already lost 10
great.
pounds.
Yael, what you got for us?
Coming up, let's see. I don't have anything really relevant to our show coming up, but I wanted to thank people who continuously are downloading on iHeartRadio. Our numbers are growing. You can follow me on YouTube, Yael Meisels, Twitter, Facebook, Yael Meisels, and continue to download and love our show.
Louis, other than NutriBullet and your whole diet weight loss stuff, what you got for us?
Yeah, well, coming up in April, I'll be at, April 16th, that's a Saturday at 6 p.m. I'm going to be at Broadway Comedy Club. Tickets are $20 plus 2 drink minimum. Please call and, VIP, reserve at 212-726-2496. Again, that number is 212-726-2496. Call early, call often. Take it away, Keenan.
All right. Shout out. There's a new comedy club in Yonkers. You know Westchester's my stomping ground. High Comedy Club in Ridge Hill. So check that out. Check their website out. I'm going to be all over and all up in that bitch. Everybody knows all my information's on my website, www.keenanweaver.com. That's KENANWEAVER. And every Sunday night, New York Comedy Club, Sunday Night Live, 8 p.m. Come on out. Keep loving.